Okay, so there will be two questions, like on the quiz, that ask you to know domain and range, and in fact, it's going to ask for x-intercept, right? When you go to the study guide, right, on the study guide, it looks like the problems 27 through 35 are referring to that slide that I have up there, and it says find domain, range, and x-intercept. That's not exactly what they ask for in these problems in the book, but that's what you need to be trying to understand, right? Domain, range, x-intercept. It's the exponentials, they didn't have great problems with that. The logarithms, they're very explicit to find those things. But I did put that in for the logarithms too. Domain, range, x-intercept. That's what you want to be focused on. So again, we would understand that the graph of an exponential, and this one is an exponential growth, looks something like that, right? And it has a domain of all reals. It has a range of y greater than 0. And what about its x-intercept? Does not have one, right? Never touches the x-axis. So the x-intercept, or the 0, is none. Okay, what does it do to the graph when I subtract 2 inside the function? 2 to the right. Okay. So here's the new graph. It still has the same asymptote, because moving to the right 2 doesn't change a horizontal line. The y-intercept now is going to be at 2, 1, and the graph has this shape. So what would you say is the domain? Still all real numbers. What is the range? Y greater than 0. And what is the x-intercept? None. Still does not cross. Okay, and the last one, what does it do to the graph if I subtract 2 after the exponential? Right, it should be a downward shift 2. So the graph will look like, right, if now the horizontal asymptote, which used to be on the x-axis, it is going to move. A vertical shift will move that horizontal line down 2. So here's the new asymptote. Right? And the y-intercept, which used to be at 1, went down 2, so now it's here. And the graph looks like that. All right. So it's getting infinitely close to the line y equals -2 without touching it. Okay, so now, what is the domain? It's still all real numbers, still go side to side, all reals. Right? What is the range? Y is greater than -2, right? If it was greater than 0 before, you subtract 2, now it's greater than -2. It's not or equal to, and you don't want to look at it and start with -1. Like if you said y is greater than or equal to -1, you're wrong, because you just missed all the points in between -1 and the line y equals -2, right? We don't start just at whole numbers. And how are we going to find the x-intercept of this? How do we normally find x-intercepts? Say again? For put in 0 for y, solve for x, right? So if I did that, I would have 0 equals 3 to the x minus 2. 3 to the x equals 2. Okay? And then, do I have that right? How will we solve that? It's an exponential equation at that point. So what would we normally have done? Go on to 3, 4, right? Take the log of both sides. Which log of both sides? Probably the log base 3. Make it match. Right? So this would be x equals log base 3 of 2. Which is kind of like converting it to a logarithm, to tell you the truth. But, now, how do you do log base 3 of 2? If you got an 84, you can use the log base. If you don't have an 84, do a change of base, right? Log of 2 divided by the log of 3.